right then, guys. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the PPUK Podcast. Today is a very, very special episode, and me and Lee are very, very excited. We're fizzling. You can't see us, but we are actually fizzling with excitement. We are joined by the incredible Mr. Hayes. And we will be having Tony M joining us a little bit later in the podcast as well, which is incredible. So as you guys are more than aware, me and Lee are very, very much 90s Prince fans. So we are unbelievably excited. Thank you so much, Maurice, for joining us today.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. This is awesome.
Amazing. So one thing that I really want to ask you, and I think a lot of fans are really interested to know, is how does it feel now going out on the road in comparison to how it did in those early NPG days? Does it feel does it feel rewarding to go out and play some of these songs again that you haven't for a while? Obviously it's different. Prince isn't with us anymore, but how does it feel in comparison to how it did in those early days?
Well, it's a quite a stark contrast to be playing this music, of course, without Prince and sans Prince. And so I think the thing that really drove us to do it in the first place is once we played the tribute, the tribute to Prince in 2016 in St. Paul, it was such a great outpouring of love for everybody that was connected to that show. It just felt good. Everybody, it was cathartic for not only the fans, but for us as well, and it just was a great thing to come back together. Some of these cats I'd seen in years, and that we worked together again. And that was kind of sparked that whole thing of maybe we should go back out and do this. I mean, because there's still an appetite for Prince's music, obviously. I mean, his legacy will absolutely live on, and it's an appetite for that music. And perhaps, people will want to see some of the people who played it and created the music with him. And so that's kind of the reason behind it. You get different people with different suggestions as to why we do it. But the bottom line is we love this music. We helped create some of this music, and we love to play this music, And of course, it's a difficult thing without Prince. But we got a good guy in Mac that can come out and interpret the songs the way he does, without trying to be Prince. You can't ever replace him. Can ever do anything that's going to try to do that. But what you can do is celebrate the music and celebrate the legacy. And so that's what we're trying to do, is celebrate the music and the legacy of Prince.
And I can see that Tony's joined us as well. Hi, Tony.
Hey, everybody. Sorry, I was at the gym. I didn't know if this was happening or not. And then Jill goes, yeah, I was trying to get it in. And Jill goes, oh, no, it's in 10 minutes. So I flew home and here I am. So I apologize for the delay.
I made the joke earlier, but it's a dream come true to have Tony M on a Zoom call and then for me to say, get on the mic. It's just perfect. Tony,
that's too easy. That's too easy, right?
It's too easy. It's a dream come true.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I just want to say a personal thank you as well, because I've seen you guys live twice in Minneapolis and then over in London, and you guys were so great with me and my friend in Minneapolis. We did the whole meet and greet, and you guys were really, really cool, and you spoke to all the fans. And I think, Tony, if you remember rightly, I tried to rap with you and I failed miserably. And it's there's a famous.
I do remember that, Lee.
And, I'm sure there's a viral video that's somewhere of me trying to rap with you and just being very nervous. And just
I need to find it now. Now
exactly.
I'm on the hunt.
And I'm sure. I think you was by the door, and I was coming to the it was like a meeting area, wasn't it? And I was coming, you was outside. I think you was on the phone to Damon or something, and I was like, oh my god, it's Tony M, he's my spirit animal. And I was like, no, that's just too much. That's just
you've gone too far.
Oh yeah, so just a personal thank you for you're great with the fans and everything, and the approachability and just hanging out with you guys is really appreciated.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, that was one thing that that Prince and I talked about a lot. I mean, he was very protective of the band, right? And a lot of the times, I would always make it a point. Mo always makes it a point to go out and say hello. As I would explain to P, it's just like, man, we're probably the closest they're going to get to you, right? Yeah. So it don't cost me nothing to come out and say hello or sneak up behind a fan who's looking at a tour book and joke about the big head guy with the high hairdo, and they turn around and then I'm standing there just joking with them. So I mean, I talk to people, and those are lasting memories, and they remember it. If I see them 30 years, I've seen some from 30 years ago, and they remember those moments. So for me, I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it was great, and
I
really appreciate it.
I can definitely second that. I mean, I think if you're going to do a ticket, 100% guys, get a meet and greet ticket. For anyone listening, do it. You were all so unbelievably welcoming, because it is quite a nervous thing for fans when you get a meet and greet. Like, you've bought a ticket, so you don't feel like you're enforcing yourself on anyone, but you're not really sure how to interact with anyone. But every single time that I've spoken to you guys, you've all been so lovely and so welcoming that you make everyone feel at ease. So for anyone listening, definitely try and get some of those meet and greet tickets that are available on this tour.
Absolutely. Nice plug.
How has the tour gone so far? That was my question.
It's been phenomenal. Go ahead, Mo.
Yeah, it's been good. No, I was going to say it's been, when you consider there's been a lot of challenges due to COVID with the tours. 2019 was our last real tour, and we've had maybe at this point maybe 4 outings at this point now. That the initial 3 up to this last thing that we just did only last week resulted in COVID for different people. And like the first thing, half the band, half the crew got COVID for the show. We had to cancel Chicago. The second one, our sound man got COVID and completely just blew a show for us. And then after the thing at Paisley, there was a lot of people who contracted COVID after that. So it's really had a profound effect on everything that we've done since 2019. I mean, it's just a pervasive thing. It's still out here, and we still have to kind of deal with it in a manner it's serious, and that it's because you don't really know how you're going to deal with it when you catch it. And some people do all right, and some get really knocked out by it. So it's been a real challenge to try to structure this. We have to put in some protocols as to how we deal with these. It's like meet and greet situations. Fortunately for London, that's our last show, and so meet and greet makes sense there because after that we got time off. If anybody gets sick, hopefully you got time to recover before the next thing. So that's why it's a consideration there, and not at a lot of other places, because you don't want to get meet and greet in the beginning of the tour, and then somebody's sick, and then whammo, the whole rest of the tour is killed. So that kind of thing, you have to think in those terms now of how to set it up. How do we avoid contact, and we got to stay away from folks in order to make sure we're good for the next shows. So we have to put these protocols in place, and I think that's the difference between the way it was in 2019 and the way it is now. A lot of tours are canceling on the road. Just tours are canceling because it's still a thing for COVID to be out here like this. And so that's the big difference. I think when you ask that question, that's the big difference in what it was then and what it is now. Of course, it's a wonderful thing. Like these last couple of shows we did, in Toronto and in New York State, up in Rochester, they were great audiences. People want to be out. They want to be like we used to be. Humans are just creatures of just communal creatures. We want to be together. We want to go hang out. We want to do stuff. So that part of it was cool. To see everybody to be out again, celebrating and playing music and everything. It kills us for work when we can't go out and perform and do what we love to do. And people want to go in here, they want to go and enjoy the music as much as we enjoy playing it.
Yeah. What can NPG fans, Prince fans expect from the tour? Because you guys knocked it out of the park last time I saw you guys live, and you had people like Beverly Knight turn up. So is there any, what can people expect? Are there going to be any surprise cameos or surprises? Beverly was awesome, by the way. Shout out to Beverly Knight.
Beverly killed it. She did.
Yeah. Just real quick, and I'll let Tony address it, but I have spoken to Beverly, and it's just a matter of whether or not schedule-wise things work out. Of course, we love Beverly. She loves us. She said, "Oh my God, I want to come." She's doing her thing with the plays and everything, and so she's really doing well with that. And so it's just a matter of whether or not her schedule coordinates. She just actually texted me the other day, and I'm just going to get back to her with a show time that we play at. And so if that doesn't conflict with her, then she'll be there.
Awesome.
and I'm talking about some other people that in that area that I'm talking to. So it could be some surprises. I will announce it. I will say something as I get closer to it, as I can make sure that that's the situation. I certainly wouldn't want to say anything that's not.
She's got her ear like this. She's like, Leah's like, what?
She's like, give me the scoop. Give me the scoop.
I'm from the same town. So she's like the local queen, like she's the queen from where I'm from, like as if she needed another crown because Beverly's got incredible.
She's phenomenal.
Beverly,
Prince loved her, so she's phenomenal. And she's a dear friend of ours. And so we hopefully schedules will work out and she'll be able to be there, hopefully. But Tony, you can share with them about, the tour thing and how that's been going and everything too.
Well, I think you addressed it, but the crowds have been phenomenal, as Morris said. I mean, people just want to get out, right? And I think what you can expect is again high energy. You guys have seen, you've seen us a couple of times. You kind of know what we're bringing to the party, right? And I know what London's going to bring. So I'm excited to come back. We're ready to hit it, and we got some challenges going out now from city to city, and we're gonna let people know. Listen. This city did it like this. You got to show up and show out, right?
I'm sorry, but London's going to kill it for you. I'm telling you now.
That's all I need to hear. I need to see booties in the seats. I need to see people standing up.
Have to claim on their insurance because the roof's going to blow off. It's going to be that good.
You know what I'm saying, Mo? I need to see people up and making noise. I mean. Yeah, so I'm excited about it. I can't wait to get back, and I'm peaked on some of these surprises that may be happening. So
So and I mean, historically, London has always, the United Kingdom, has always been a stronghold with Prince, and always been a place where we knew when we show up there, it's on and cracking. So we look, we're going to bring that same energy that we brought with Prince. These cats, let me tell you something, Sonny, Tony, myself, we know how this goes. We know how to bring this. Mike Scott, we've done this with the man. So we don't expect to do anything less than what we did with him. So what y'all are going to get from us is like what we gave with him. Mac is a dynamic young singer. He's on the stage giving his 110%. And this kid is great. And so we're going to be able to go in here and I think and deliver what we're used to doing. We're going to have a hit parade of songs. We know the songs that we love, and I was just telling somebody that's funny that, when we did the tribute in 2016, it was like 52 songs that Prince has played. And one of the biggest comments I heard when I was on the street and people came up like, man, that show was amazing, man. It was crazy, almost 5 hours, but you didn't play my favorite song. And I'm like, man,
always.
I heard that about 10 times, times from different people. You didn't play my favorite song. And that's just a testament to how many hits and how much great music that Prince had, that everybody's got their own favorite joint. And so what we're trying to do with the show, we're playing in a short amount of time, a bunch of music. We're rifling through songs because everybody's got a song that they love. It's like, oh, that's my song, And we're really trying to cover some bases, hit some hits that everybody knows. And it's going to be a straight line party from the time we start playing until we get to the end. It's going to be a party, and that's what we're trying to bring to this music.
Definitely high energy. Go ahead, Lee. I'm sorry.
I wanted to ask both of you, how do you go about trying to even begin putting together a set list like this? Because I remember when I came to see you guys, I was at the sound check and I was like, do interactive. It's really obscure track.
Yeah, it's funny because people like you always ask like that. They want us to dive into some of the to some of the deeper cuts, right? They're looking, they're looking for the Gold Nigger. They're looking for Johnny. They're looking for Together. They're looking for Exodus. They're looking for So you're trying to mix all of that in with the stalwarts, with the things that some people go like, oh, I came to see him and they didn't play Pop Life, or they didn't play. You know what I mean? So it's a tough balancing act, and Mo's been doing an outstanding job, MD in this and pulling up some of the tracks and trying to keep it honest and true. But I think as we continue to evolve, we try to get deeper.
And sometimes we have managerial challenges. Managers, they're always like, well, you gotta cover what everybody knows and everybody likes, and you know, God bless her, but you know, she's on the manager, because what we, you know, we love the obscure stuff. You know, there's a lot of songs that's the Prince deep cuts, you know, but we try to deal in the thing that what's going to be the best, because we know what we like, and we can just like pull songs that we like, oh man, we should play this, and we do a couple of things like that we just say like, man, we because the song grew so hard, it may not have been a smash like Kiss, or it may not have been like Purple Rain, but it's a groove, you know, and we like to play it. So we try to balance with what everybody wants to hear and what we like to play and what we like to do. And then maybe a few songs that just like maybe wasn't like the hit, like the hits 1, 2, 3, like the hits package, you know. But it is stuff that people go like, oh yeah, you know, like we pulled out Lady Cab Driver, you know, and I had talked to Prince about Lady Cab Driver at one point. I was like, Prince, why you played Lady Cab Driver when the Triple Threat tour was out, and he said it just never translated live, you know. It just like, I was like, but y'all killed it though, man. It was dope. I loved it, you know. They hit it like the record, and it's like we recently pulled it out, and it's fun. You know, I do this whole little thing where I tell the story about how I would ask him about it, and he just like, yeah, it never translated it live, you know. And I'd be like, no, I'm gonna let the people decide. Y'all tell me, do y'all like it? And I think Prince was wrong this one time, you know. And so that's the kind of thing that we would do with some of the music, because again, there's so many songs, man. I mean, this dude used to tell me, so many hits, so little time, you know, because he had so much music that was so dope and so many things. And, you know, and if it turns out that we are able to like kind of recover after COVID and touring can kind of pick back up, you know, man, we know that we got a ton of music to pick from. Then we can, as we travel, we can keep updating the set list. We can keep doing things that, okay, maybe we did all of the hits on this one, but maybe we can do some more obscure stuff, Exodus stuff, and like Tony said, like Johnny, and like some of the other stuff, because people will get more used to us coming. And then you get used to the whole fact that we can change the set list, man. We played all of that stuff. So it ain't nothing for us to flip out songs and do that kind of thing. But what I think one of the biggest things that we're trying to do with the NPG as it is trying to reestablish the NPG, what it's like without Prince being there. A lot of people know that, yeah, the NPG are great players and all this, but the biggest issue that I think we have sometimes is people don't know it until after the show, like how great that the experience was. It's like getting the word out ahead of time is our biggest challenge, and just trying to get people to understand what this is before we get there. And I think, you know, that's why we're grateful for you guys, you know, getting the word out, because a lot of people just don't know, man. They're just like, oh yeah, the NPG, what are they doing, you know, without Prince? And it's like, until you see it, you don't think anything. Maybe you don't think about it. Maybe it's like, yeah, well, they're just out here, just some band hit. But it's really an experience that we're trying to make, like on a level of, like it is something viable, and it is something that the music can speak for itself. It may not be, nobody can ever replace Prince. That's just not going to happen. The likes of the Michael Jacksons, you know, go ahead, T.
Well, that's why we have to make sure that we let everybody know that it's not a tribute band. You're not going to come up there and see somebody trying to imitate Prince, right?
Yeah.
That's an absolute no for us, right? That's a no-go. So when you see all of the other, you know, bands that are out there, you know, bless them, they're doing their thing. We created, we lived, we breathed, we sweated, we cried, we everything with P on these songs. So we're going to give you that same vibe. And like as Mo said, we know the songs. We helped create the songs. We were there. And so again, it's not a tribute. That's why we love Max so much. You know, he brings his own vibe to the show and to the vocals. He's not trying to be that. So the first time we saw him, he came through on sound check, and we heard him hit a couple notes. I looked back at Mo. I just gave him that nod, like this is our man right here, right? And then every time he does a show, and you know, we've had different guest vocalists, and you know, every now and then come through, and you know, the major faux pas is that they get there, and then it's like, oh, this is my shot, I gotta go. And then they go, you know, they go lean too far toward Prince, right? Or they lean too far towards, you know, and it just, it doesn't work. You know, it doesn't work. Not for the real fans. They don't want to see that, right?
I remember seeing Mackenzie doing The Cross, and his version was so good. It was really, really good. And he makes it his own, and it's such a great performance that he does with that song.
Let me come out of these glasses. I look like I'm in the witness protection plan.
But Jay, it's rock and roll, baby.
It's rock and roll.
Only you still cool. You'll always be cool to me. You know that.
but Tony's absolutely right. I think it's really a thing of finding that balance of just representing the music, you know, and letting that be the thing rather than, you know, Mac is comfortable in his own skin when it comes to like what he's not trying to be like, I'm gonna jump out here and I'm trying to be the it's all about representing the music and representing the legacy. And that's what's been happening, you know, and I can appreciate that from Mackenzie because he understands that he got the memo. He understands the
assignment. Yeah, he got the assignment.
Yeah. I'm so going to turn that into a meme now. Mackenzie understands the assignment.
There it is.
You know, and he knows how to, like, you know, how to work that angle and work the audience and that sort of thing. And so it's all about finding good mixes and good collaborations with these artists that we work with. You know, we've had the likes of Shelby J and Liv Warfield and Tamar and all of these folks that have worked with this man that we work with. And they all know how to like bring their element to the situation and really produce something that the fans can dig. And that's really important to us, that they all go away with an experience like it wasn't a tribute to a band type of thing. It wasn't somebody playing a bunch of covers. It's about feeling that same energy, man. A lot of times we walk off of that stage, man, and we emotional, man. We feel some kind of way because that's the energy that we remembered having this dude. And sometimes when you're playing Purple Rain and you know, from so many times, Tony and I was behind this dude while he was doing that. You know, we know the power of like standing behind and watching the back of this man's head while he's hitting Purple Rain and having that energy. And so we know what that is. And so we have to recapture, bring that back to what we're trying to do. And sometimes we feel that energy and we feel that the same emotion. And what from the heart reaches the heart. I think when we can do that, then the fans understand that it is emotional because that's the music is being powerful like that. And so that's where we're at, and that's what we're trying to do. And I think when we come like the places like I lived in London for a while when we were doing the O2, man. I had an apartment in London. You know, we were like living there, bro. Any place I have a key to, it's like it's home. If I got a key to a place that I go into and I'm just unlocking doors for 2 or 3 months, then hey man, I'm up in there for at least that long. And so it's like it's gonna be a good coming home to London kind of vibe to do this again. And I hear KOKO's a dope venue, and so we're looking forward to it, man. We want y'all to get the word out. We're gonna be doing videos, me and Tony and everybody, to kind of remind the people of what it is and what's happening and when it's happening, so that they can come out. Because we really want to grow the experience of just having people come and enjoy Prince music. And just like I said, you know, Prince's legacy is going to be alive, whether it's us playing or not. It just, he's done this great work, but we do think it's a great thing to just have the folks that work with him. And you know I would enjoy going to see Queen and seeing all of those guys. I remember having some of those guys in my dressing room back in the day in London. As a matter of fact, when I was at Cafe de Paris, I walked in my dressing room and to find my dude in my dressing room, like, you know, I'm like, that's just dope, man. And so it's like that's an experience to be around folks like that, you know, and to have them present, you know, and you can just say, man, that's dope. And Journey and like some of the other groups that, you know, have different lead singers now, and so, but you still feel that same kind of a vibe. And I'm just glad to see that because it just people love that music, you know. And if you can see those folks, man, I mean, that to me, that's awesome. I think it's great.
I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leah. Go ahead.
I think you've really hit the nail on the head there, talking about how emotional it is for you guys. It's very much the same for us as well. I mean, the last time I saw Prince was actually at KOKO's. It was the last show he did in the UK. So just coming back to there, because I haven't been back since, is going to be emotional kind of in itself. But sure. When Prince passed, I think a lot of the fans really grieved kind of the anticipation because with Prince, you never knew where he was going to show up. There was always this hunch. Where's he going to show up next? The hit and run tour.
Sure.
You'd be queuing outside venues, not knowing if you'd get in or how much the ticket would be, and all of this kind of anticipation. And it's where so many of us got to know each other. We would like cook food and pass it down the queue, trying to keep each other warm outside the venues and things. Yes. And that anticipation kind of left us. And when he passed, I think a lot of us kind of thought, wow, we're never going to feel that anticipation again, that sense of community that he really brought, kind of unknowingly, I think a lot of the time. But kind of when you guys come to town, it's very much that feeling kind of comes back, that we can go for these drinks before the gig and start talking about what might be in the set list. It's a real emotional thing for us. And when we hear that one song in your set list that maybe we weren't expecting, or maybe he played that one time at that gig that really meant a lot to us, it's really emotional as fans just to be back in those moments, even if it's just for a few hours.
It's so funny that you mentioned that, because I talk to people all the time, and they just say, when you guys come to play, I reconnect with people from 30 years ago, from 25 years ago. I haven't seen them, right? And it's back like it was in 1994 or 92, whatever it was, whatever that time was. They get back together and they get to hang out. I mean, and enjoy, like you said, that communal, going out and having cocktails or passing drinks down or whatever, or eating food or whatever, just getting together before the show and then the show, and then just being so drained from the energy of that show. I mean, the adrenaline is flowing. I mean, I know as Mo has stated earlier that, there are times that we come off the stage and we're just drained emotionally, right? But I know that Prince is looking down on us and know that we did the right thing, right? That we gave him what we were supposed to give him. Did we do it right? I mean, there's plenty of times I just say to myself, I look up, did we do it right, P? And that's just my conversation with him. You know what I mean? How did we do? I felt like we smoked it, so that type of energy, like I said, is and that type of emotion is what we're going to bring, every time we come hit the stage.
Yeah.
That's cool. So my question is, what's planned after the tour? Is there what's the plan for NPG after the tour?
Well, one of the things is we went back in the summer, even of last year, we went and recorded a bunch of songs. We've been working on music. There's a lot of things going on with the Prince estate. The estate runs all of the ins and outs, the comings and goings of all of the situations regarding Prince. So we're respectful of whatever happens with regard to the estate. So, I think they're in a period of transition and a lot of things are happening. So I think what we're wanting to do is, when everything settles with regard to who's, working all of those things out, then, we got music in the can. We got, songs that I think are some dope music that we've made.
We got some heat.
And so once all of that shakes out and all of that's in place, because again, we're respectful to whatever it is that the estate finds us, once all of that works out, then we'll go to the powers that be and see what we do with regard to the music and all of that, because it's, these types of things can get to be very complex. And it's way out of my pay grade, I know. So it's just like I defer to the legal people and all of the people who manage that type of situation. We're creatives, man. We just want to get in the studio and do what we've been taught to do and do what we love to do, is make, we still write music and make music. So, that stuff is the business side and the other side of it. So once all of that shakes out, and then we can come and, and present what we have, then we'll see what happens. Of course, we would love to be able to continue to travel as New Power Generation and play music as we can, especially as COVID subsides and as things become more normalized and people can move around a bit more. We would like for everybody to get a chance to to celebrate Prince music and that sort of thing, and then be able to play some new music as well. So that's kind of where we are. It's just kind of like a pattern of just kind of like as all of that political type stuff and with regard to the estate plays out, then we see where we are on the other side of it.
I'd like to volunteer to do some rap verses if need be.
You got it, man.
There it is, Tony. You got your man. You got your sidekick right here.
I listen. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say, what? Let me check the L's. I'm gonna check the cadence. Make sure he's on time. And then
every night it'll be Tony M shouting out for me in the crowd, and I'll be like, no, no, no.
I have been known to put the mic in someone's face.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'll just.
If you play Nasty Girl,
Yeah, I'm a huge
you
Nasty
him on
Girl
the
fan.
mic. That's
Oh,
who you
yes.
are.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. You said if we hit Nasty Girl, Lee gonna lose his shirt?
Yep.
Well, all right.
Well, all right.
Well, all right. Look how
Tony-
Lee don't get it.
Tony, I actually wanted to talk to you a little bit about your guitar skills, because I think a lot of fans don't realize actually that you actually ended up playing guitar. Was it at the end of the Act 1 tour, Act 2 tour?
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to ask, how much of your guitar playing made it on to any studio releases, or did that not quite happen?
Not a single note. Let's be honest. Listen, I appreciated the opportunity for that Prince allowed me to be kind of a all-purpose utility. I mean, just wherever I could. He said, "Hey, I want you to do this here," and if I had the wherewithal to do it, I was going to jump in. So a lot of times I tell people it's where preparation meets opportunity, right? So the opportunity came. I was prepared to do what little bit I could, and I'm not going to get up there and shred a bunch of licks. That's just not my thing, but I will get up there and chunk and be funky with it and find that pocket and lay right in the groove. And that's just my thing. That's what I like to do. Mo's allowed me to also, get in and fill in and, and add some of that 2-part guitar stuff or 3-part that we used to hit with P when we were on the road. And, a lot of people go, man, I didn't know. Listen, I mean, we were told no a lot of times before we got the yes to be in Prince's Band. A lot of people don't understand the history, and we had been humping since Purple Rain, and we thought we were going to go on the Purple Rain tour, from being in the movie, and that didn't happen. And so again, in this industry, you got to be prepared for a 100 no's, and then that one yes come, and when that one yes comes, be prepared, to do it. And when it happened. Prince, as a matter of fact, it was just by chance. It was on a sound check while Prince was doing Graffiti Bridge. He was flying back and forth, and we were on the new tour, and we were just sound checking, and I think we were doing Humpty Dance. And I was on guitar, Kirk was on drums, and we were just doing. I was hitting the rap, and he didn't know I spit lyrics or anything or play guitar. And I remember him calling me back to the dressing room, and he just said, "Man, can you do that? If we hit it, 2 cities down the road." And absolutely, shaking in my boots when I said it, of course, but absolutely I can do that. For me, it's like, okay, now I got to hold this. He's leaving the stage. I'm like, you can't leave the stage and just leave me up there by myself. He said, oh, no, this is during my wardrobe change. You got this. And it was just him thrusting you out there, making you feel, right? Mentor, teach, and just empowering you, right? So, as I got more comfortable, I think the confidence just rose. And some people, it says it's that north side confidence. That's all I can tell you. P had it, Jimmy had it, Terry had it, Jerome had. I mean, it's just Morris has it. It's something that you grow up with, growing up in Minneapolis.
Another thing is what Prince was really, really great at is understanding everybody's strengths and weaknesses. He was extraordinarily good at making assessments about the band and about who could do what. Barbarella was a great soloist. Like he had Matt and he had Barbarella, and he had Rosie was a much better singer, but she could play enough parts on a keyboard to get by and do what she needed to do.
Yeah.
She could do that, but as a vocalist, she was a powerhouse. You know what I'm saying? And so what he would do for me and what he did for Tommy, it's like, okay, he knew he could do this. Morris, you hold down this. Everything was about orchestration and finding everybody what you could do. And like if you listen to, I remember him breaking it down as to how he does things. Like he kind of gave an example for like James Brown and like Sly Stone. Like In Time is one of the most perfect songs. Like in the Sly Stone In Time, it's like everybody got a little piece, and when you add your little piece, you put this. It's all about where those pieces fit, and then you don't have to do a lot. You don't need Tony to do shred like him or like Levi. But if he get that, you give him those parts and he lay in with that. You lay in with this and you lay in with this. We just did the Prince thing at the Prince on the big screen from the Glam Slam 1992. And it was awesome, man. Kirk did a fantastic job.
Phenomenal
of putting this thing together. And man, we had two guitar players. Mike Scott and Levi Ceasar together is like, man, it's like a tornado. But it would be easy for the two cats like that to get like too much from me. Man, it's just like puzzle pieces. Like Mike know where to go here, Levi knows where to go here, Tony knows where to get his piece in. That's what Prince put together. And so everybody just needs to know where their place is in the room, and then everything locks in like a puzzle. It's like Legos. And so that's the whole thing. And so yeah. So when you see Tony up there, man, we give him them parts, man, and it's just like lock it in, lock that in, and then it's all just like butter. It's all like linked together. And so that's what makes it great. We want to keep those same lessons, because that's what all it is about with Prince, was about teaching and lessons and how to Prince always wanted us. He used to tell us all the time, like, I want y'all to be like what Larry Graham did when he left Sly and the Family Stone.
Right.
Like he left, and he had just as many hits on just doing the Larry Graham thing as he did when he was with Sly. And Prince always wanted that of us as the NPG. Is like, when you go, he even tried a few times. I told him, like, Prince, please don't make us do it. But he just said, I want y'all to go down to the slam and y'all just do the show, and I'm not gonna be there. But I would tell him, like, Prince, man, people want to see you, bro. I mean, they like us, it's cool, but they want to see you. But he would try that. They said, Morris, y'all go down, let Sonny do these lyrics, y'all do the show. And he was at Paisley. He called and said, how'd it go? I said, Prince, man, come on. Yeah, it's cool, but man, come down here, bro. These people want to see you, man. Come on, man. Quit joking. But that was him just saying, I want you to take the training wheels off of you guys, and want you guys to be independent of me and be able to do your thing. And so this is where we are now. That's what we've taken the training wheels off. He taught us all of these things. And now we're able to go out as the NPG and do these shows. Prince is not here saying, okay, you got to do this. This is us taking the lessons that we've learned and now just doing what we know to do based on what he taught us, And that's why it's important for me and for the rest of us to do the best we can with this, because we know the teacher that we had. It's just like when you watch a Bruce Lee movie. Bruce Lee was one of the baddest cats in the game, but he's like, teacher, because everybody knows the master is the master. He's a bad dude. You know what I'm saying? And even though he taught Bruce Lee, that's the master. Prince was the master. And so we just want to always represent that way.
Yeah, think about it. I mean, we are probably now 5 years into this thing that we've been doing, trying to keep this legacy rolling, right? And as Mo said, we've had songs in the can. We're ready to roll. And just when everything shakes out, believe me, I think we have some stuff that's going to set people on fire for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think we're all very excited about that. Morris, I wanted to ask you about the 21 Nights in London. This was my first ever gig of all time. For anyone that listens to the podcast, they will probably already know this story, but my first concert was that when I was 10.
Oh my God.
Yes, she's a baby.
I was the nosebleed seats. I was dizzy. I was so far back there, but it was the most incredible experience for the first show ever. But obviously, you were in London for such a prolonged period of time, like you mentioned. Yeah. So, what were some of your memories of that period?
I'm going to tell you something. I've had two gigs, like two, that in my almost 20-year span with Prince, that were like really, really great in terms, because we hadn't done anything like that before, and just the whole the premise of it. So we were in Las Vegas for like a 8-month like run in Vegas, and that kind of gave us this whole idea about, man, residency kind of gigs. This is dope, because we set up. I had my car. I had a convertible. I had this little Lexus convertible, and Prince said, you should bring your car out. And Prince had this Bentley, and he just like, he had this crazy Bentley. And he said, yeah, you should bring your car out. And I brought my car, man. We just had studios set up. So we doing albums. We worked on the Lotus Flower record while we were in Vegas and doing stuff. And it was just so dope, man. Like, I had keys to my own studio. I could go and park my car in the back of the casino and go through the back door with my own car. It was dope. And so now we're going to go to the O2. 21 nights. I'm like, what? The O2? 21 nights. It was so dope. I get there, we go to O2. I got my own dressing room. Like, I set the studio up so we could track in there. And just like, it was bananas. Only time I had to move, I think the Rolling Stones came in for like a hot minute, and that was Elton John came. Elton let me keep my room. I kept the room, but McNam needed all of the space, so they commandeered my studio for just the week that they were there, and that was the only time I had to move out. And it was so dope. You know, I'd go roll up in the Nando's and get my little thing, go to the cell phone thing. It was so dope. I got off the tube. I left my apartment, hopped on the tube lets off. It was bananas.
I'm taking you both out for Nando's. Yeah,
that's what's up. I've never had it, so Mo keeps telling me about it.
What? Oh, Tony, Nando's, maybe.
You've never had it, Leah?
I promise you, I'll take you both out for Nando's when you come to Camden, KOKO. It's on me. It's on me as a thank you.
Well, the only thing is, it's a very quick turnaround. Like we roll in. Y'all pray for these airline people, man. Y'all do all your little tricks for the airline people, because we like literally fly in for that show, and hopefully there won't be no snafus with the airlines, because I'm reading that there's people going on strike over there. There's been this crazy baggage thing. I'm gonna keep this shirt in a little Ziploc so I can like make sure I got it. My luggage get lost. I can put this on at least.
Let me tell you, we just got back from Toronto, and my luggage did not show up until I landed Monday. I got my bag Friday. It just gone, disappeared.
This is negativity that I'm not taking on at the moment.
No, we're not taking it. We're not taking it. But the thing was, that was to get back to that show, man. It was beyond amazing to be at the O2 for that long, and to be in London for that long, man. It's just all of the celebrities that would come out to the event, not to mention all of the great fans, man, that would just come out. I think 500,000 people came to that show. I had a house fire, and I lost one of my big plaques that I get. 500,000 people came through for those 21 nights, man. That's a lot of 500,000 people is a lot of humanity coming to see a Prince show and coming to. That was one of the greatest. That I remember just how cool it was for us just to work a few nights a week, go in the studio, go see the sights. You know, I had a friend that worked at the Palace. You know, go over there, pet the Queen's horses, and go. Man, it was just. It don't get no better than that. It's one of the best gig experiences I've ever had in my life, to be able to just be at a place and just come to work, and there's 20,000 people that work every night. You know, that's just banana sandwiches, man. It just don't get no better than that. And London has been for us, I know for myself personally, has been always a place, aside from the extraordinary prices of everything basically being doubled because of the pound, which I was like the pound. But other than that, man, it's just phenomenal. And it's just a great, such a historic city, so much history, you know. So when I'm not working, I go to, you know, museums and go to the palaces and go to different places just to see things that I only saw in school, like in books and on television and everything. And so it's a wonderful thing to be able to travel the world and go see places and see, you know, that type of history and then all of the great people. You know, people love Prince, and people have always been very kind to us and very cool to us, and so we appreciate that from the great citizens of the UK. And so it's always been great.
It never fails, and whenever because we like to just get out and walk around and just you know, hang out, but we'll inevitably run into someone that goes, "Oh my God, Morris, Mr. Hayes. Oh my God, Tony M, what's going on?" You know, and so I mean, I think those are the times and things that I cherish the most. You know, out of it is just, again, connecting with the people and so yeah, I'm excited about it. You know, I remember I didn't have the 21 nights at the O, but I think we had 12 or 13 at Williams.
Oh yeah, Williams, and then like Earl's Court. You know, there was like
Earl's Court,
there was like 8 or 9 shows Earl's Court that sold out. So it was bananas, man. I mean,
that's cool. You get to settle in, right? You just get to settle in and hang out, and then you get a chance to really vibe on the city, right? So many times it's just in and out, as Mo was stating. And, you know, we come in, we hit it, and we're out the door. So, you know, people are like, "Oh my God, you get to see all these places." I said, we see the airports, the hotels, and the back of clubs. You know, when we're entering clubs, that's of the venues. That's what we see of the world. We don't, you know, so that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know, we're actually doing a little mini pre-party before your gig across the road at Leighton Arms for people to come along and drinks before they come and see you guys. So we're doing a little mini pre-event. So if you want to,
then y'all gonna come in lit. You'll be lit and ready to go.
So if you guys want to pop over and say hello before the gig, you're more than welcome to.
Be ready to go.
That could be cute. But yeah, man, we like I said, we're really looking forward to it, man. I mean, it's going to be great. Like I said, not in my career since 1991. Since COVID, have I not been to either Europe or Asia every single year since 1991. Wow. And so when COVID shut things down, that was weird. It was like weird. Like I was in my 20s, like when I started, like in my late 20s when I started traveling like that. And it's just crazy to just like have that interrupted and then to have it be like, man, we didn't go to Europe this year. Man, we didn't go to Europe this year. It's like, so needless to say for us, man, it's very exciting to go back. We want everybody to, to be reminded that, like, wherever you can with your protocol, just take care of yourself, man. If you got to wear a mask, this stuff is out here still. And I think that everybody's over it. Of course, I hate wearing a mask. I hate like having to, social distance, do all of this kind of stuff. Nobody likes it, but I think it's the time in which we live. It's like that. These are the situations that we're dealing with. If we want to keep everybody safe, we got to do the best we can and just try to mitigate these things wherever we can, and do what we can to keep everybody 100. And so we're gonna, we're gonna do what we can to just like make sure that people have a good time and a safe time, and hopefully everybody will keep that in mind as they're out. But like I said, because folks are still getting sick, man. It's just like we just gotten tired of it. Everybody's like, I'm over it, man. I'll go party, dude.
It's the new norm. It's the new norm right now. We just got to be able to navigate it, respect everybody's decisions with it, right? And I respect yours, you respect me, and we'll get through it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like I said, it's just something that I think that we're going to be living with right now. Hey, how y'all like that Peter Lotter picture behind me right there?
No, I was going to say that's a really good. You guys have got some. He does some great pictures. I'm a big fan.
Oh my Lord, Peter is the man. Peter is the man.
Because I think he was with us. He took some of the pictures when you guys were in Shepherd's Bush, I think. Mm-hmm. He did some of the pictures there. Yeah, no, he's very well known in the community, and he does amazing photographs.
So I know that you guys will be at the show, both of you, right? We'll get the news out and we'll make sure we have them butts in the seats. But I just hoping that we get an opportunity to actually catch up with you and actually chat for a minute.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Leah, do you want to roll off the other dates that NPG are performing in Europe?
Yes, let me just get those up. Oh, that was a very aeroplane voice. And if you look to your left, you will find. So you guys have a number of dates coming up. So you have the Netherlands on the 18th of July, and then you have quite a big stint in France. Is it 3 shows that you have in France?
3 shows. But before you go, I want to mention one you missed one at the very beginning, Luxembourg on the 16th.
Oh, okay.
So before we do Utrecht, we are in Luxembourg. On this, I believe that's the 16th. I think that's what it is. And then the 18th, we are in the Netherlands. And then 3 stints in France, Marseille, Paris, and Marseille.
Yes, so that's on the 20th, 21st, and 23rd of July. And then you have London on the 24th. And that's at KOKO.
Ooh, that's going to be fire.
It's going to be so
good. And then it's going to be a jam session at Lee Cooker's house.
I'll bring the Nando's. I'll rap. I'll dance to Nasty Girl. It'll all be ready. I'll be there.
It sounds like a great idea until you see it.
No, seriously.
Well, she's actually got a guitar back there, so maybe we should have it at her spot.
Yeah,
over there.
Same goes.
She got some instrumentation. She got some instrumentation.
Yeah.
I'm one of those musicians that poses with the instrument.
Got it.
Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong.
You know how Harry Styles wears the acoustic but doesn't play it at any point? That's it.
But it looked good though.
But it looked good.
It looked good. You busted the snot out of him, but it looked good though.
She did bust him. I was just getting ready to say you busted on him.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Harry. She like you, man. It's all good.
Guys, I just want to say thank you so much for being part of the podcast. It's always great to see you guys, and as I've said before, I really do appreciate what you do for the fans. And the meet and greets are always awesome, and I can't wait to see you guys in Camden KOKO's on the 24th. So thank you.
No, thank you.
Thanks,
We
brother.
appreciate it. Thank you both so much. We're excited. We're excited, as Mo said. We can't wait to come hang out with you again, and we're gonna see what your cadence like when I get there, Lee.
Yeah. I'm gonna brush up.
It's gonna be awesome.
Brush up on them lyrics, man. Matter of fact,
I know you're gonna call me out during.
My name is Prince. That's the one you should go brush up on.
Deal.
And I'm gonna be saving up a little few chips and then keep some open luggage for some Camden shopping. We'll go through Camden town and get a couple of items. It's a lot of wonderful things through there.
A lot.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, man. We appreciate it so much.
Bye now.